My pranams to all Atma Jyotis, divine light of the self. I welcome all of you for today's session of Brahma Sutra. We are in the chapter 4. Chapter 4 is about liberation, Mukti. We are in the Pada 4. Pada 4 is section 4, last section of chapter 4. Pada 4 is liberation of a Gnani. Pada 3 or section 3 is about liberation of a Upasaka, a meditator, a Bhakta. Let us continue our contemplation of this sutra, Brahma Sutra. Let us offer our pranams to Bhagavan. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Sadashiva Samarambam Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Lokashankaram. Today's chapter is called Pradipadhikarana. Today's section is called Pradipadhikarana. Pradipa means light. Okay. And it is about a Upasaka, a meditator, how he can take multiple bodies. That is the question. So we have discussed Brahma Sutra. Chapter 4 is about liberation. For an ignorant person, he will go through cycle of birth and death, punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam, infinitely. A Upasaka will take only one birth in the higher level loka. In the Ishtadevata loka, Vaikunta or Shiva loka or Devi loka, it's called Brahma loka. There he will get Jnana and he will get Mukti. It's called Krama Mukti. And for a Jnani, there are no more births. In this birth, he will get Atma Jnana, Brahma Jnana, he will become Jivan Mukta. And then after death, he will become Videha Mukta. So today we are discussing about the Upasaka and Jnani. The difference in their liberation. A Jnani or ignorant person has a feeling that I am separate from God and the world. It's called duality. It causes suffering. That's why it's called samsari. A Bhakta says God is everywhere. I am separate from God. He does karma yoga, upasana for purification. And a Bhakta will become Mukta when he gets Jnana, Atma Jnana. He becomes liberated. He becomes Jivan Mukta. Then he says self in all in self. There's only oneness, one reality called Brahman. It's called Advaita. A Jivan Mukta, while he is alive, he merges with, he realizes one is with Jivatma and Paramatma. And after death, after the body is broken, Jivatma merges with Paramatma like a pot space merges with the infinite space. It's only conceptual, really pot space is same as infinite space. A Upasaka leaves his body through Sushumna Nadi. Upasaka or Bhakta leaves his body to Sushumna Nadi and does a journey towards Brahmaloka. Okay. And in the Brahmaloka, he will be there with his Ishta Devata, Rama, Krishna, or whichever Ishta Devata is there. So now, next Adhikarana is called Pradipadhikarana. In this Adhikarana, the question being asked, a Upasaka can take multiple bodies or no body. He can be free from body or he can have a body. Right? So how can he have, if he has multiple bodies, what is the use? Because all those bodies are like dolls or robots. Because you can experience life through only one body. So the Sutra Adhikarana is Upasaka can take multiple bodies and simultaneously experience a lot of things in life. That's the Adhikarana. It's called Pradipadhikarana. So let us start. Sutra 548. Om Atato Brahma Jidnasa Om Pradipavad Aveshah Tatahi Darshayati. A liberated soul. Now here's liberated soul is not fully liberated. Krama Mukti, who is work in progress, a Upasaka or Bhakta, is in the process of gradual liberation. He has attained many siddhis, many powers. Right? A Upasaka of Saguna Brahma, he can create multiple bodies and animate all bodies and simultaneously experience life in many ways. That's what I was told in the earlier sloka. Okay. Pradeepadikana means how it can be done. Like a lamp can light many lamps. So this is the adhikana. Let us contemplate on the teaching of this adhikana. Here there's a very interesting question is asked to bring out the difference between a Jivan Mukta and a Upasaka, liberation. We have said Upasaka or a Bhakta or a Yogi. While he is alive itself, he'll get many siddhis, many powers. That's called Ashta Siddhi. Right? We have discussed the Ashta Siddhi. What are the Ashta Siddhi? Anima, Lagima, Garima, Mahima, are many of these to be feel light, to be expand the body, all those many siddhis, expand not physical body, psychological body. So many siddhis we have discussed in the context of a yogi. And after death, the Upasaka goes to a Brahmaloka or Loka Vishnu Devata. Here, he has a choice now. His subtle body is there. Subtle body is not gone. Causal body is not gone. Only Sthula Shariras, gross body is not there. He can take a new gross body. Okay. A man's body, woman's body, a Devata's body, Yaksha's body, Gandharva's body, animal body. He can take any body and experience life in different ways. Now, we may ask the question, why a Upasaka wants to experience life? Upasaka or a Bhakta still has an ego. If he has no ego, he has already become Jivan Mukta, Brahmadani. He has merged with he has his individual identity. As long as you have ego, you have individual identity. Right? As long as you have individual identity, you want to experience something in life. Something or the other. Only when the ego is dropped, completely desire for any experience will go. Otherwise, even a small amount of ego will give you some desire. Only Jivan Mukta is completely free from desire. Upasaka will have a desire to experience life. Maybe I want to experience life as a Devata. Immediately get a Devata body. No, I want to experience life as a woman. He'll get a woman's body. No, I want to experience life as a tiger. He'll get a tiger's body. I want to experience life as a Yaksha. He'll get a Yaksha's body. So, different types of body he can create at will. He is Satya Sankalpa. It doesn't take time. No manufacturing time. Right? For example, you want a chair. You have to give an order. After 1 week, he will manufacture and give it to you. There's a action involved, result is involved. There's a delay involved, time delay. Whereas in Satya Sankalpa, there's no time delay. Immediately start manifesting. Because Devatas and nature, Prakriti will make it happen immediately. You come to Jnana, Right? So it will happen immediately and no time is involved, no delay is involved in case of Upasaka. Correct? Why? He has got some of the powers of Ishvara for him. How did he get the powers of Ishvara? Constantly he meditated on Ishvara. Ishvara is all Shaktiman, all powerful. Ishvara has the power to control Maya. This is his meditation. He has meditated on the qualities of Ishvara, Saguna Brahma. And whatever you meditate in your life will come in your life. Your meditation creates your life. So Upasaka has created his meditation in his life. The qualities of Ishvara in his life. That's why when he's alive, he has got some siddhis. When he dies, the siddhis will become more. Not that he will become fully Ishvara. We'll find out why he doesn't become fully Ishvara. But he has attained one of the Salokya, Samipya, Sarupya, Sayujya. Salokya means while he is alive, he feels God is very close to him. Samipya means God is my friend. Sarupya means he gets the qualities of God, of Ishta Devata. Rama means Dharma. Shiva means Vivek and Vairagya. Devi means Matrabhava, love. So like that, some of the qualities of Ishtadevata he gets while he's alive. It's called Sarupya. And after that, he'll go to that loka and his qualities will become more, the qualities will manifest fully. Is it clear? That's called Krama Mukti. Okay. And he will have a lot of powers. Whatever Ishtadevata has mentioned, some of the powers of Ishtadevata will come. Not all, some of them. How much, what power doesn't come, we'll discuss later. Right? That's why it's very important in life that we do upasana of Ishvara. We should not say Ishvara is helpless, Ishvara is useless, Ishvara doesn't do anything. No. The qualities of Ishvara is Saguna Brahma. All Kalyanakara, all divine qualities are in Ishvara. All powers. He is Sarva Shaktiman, he is all powerful. He is Sarvatma, he is everywhere. Okay? He is compassionate, he is loving, he is Dharma. Like that, you have to think of the positive qualities of Ishvara to bring that qualities in us. That's why purification takes place. Saguna Upasana, Ishvara Aradhana or Bhakti gives the purification of the mind. How will the purification happens if you don't think of good qualities of Ishvara? You'll keep on blaming Ishvara. Ishvara has not done this thing in my life. Then you will not get a positive quality. Understand the positive qualities of Ishvara and constantly focus on the positive qualities of Ishvara and constantly take the life as a blessing of Ishvara, life is a grace of Ishvara, then your mind will be purified. So what you think in your life becomes your life. You are creating in this moment your future life. So this sadhaka has created constantly is Ishvara, Upasaka. He has already constantly meditated on Ishvara. Ishvara is Shaktiman, Ishvara is Sarvatma, Ishvara is Sarvadna, Ishvara has all powers. Ishvara protects me. Okay, this is the meditation. That's the meditation of Bhakta does. That's why many times Bhaktas have many miracles happen in the presence of Bhakta. You read any stories of any devotee, so many miracles happen because they trust in the power of Ishvara and they plug into the power of Ishvara, Bhagwan. So the Upasana is to purify our mind. Upasana is to get strength to function in the world. While functioning in the world, why do we function in the world? You have to function for survival. You have to function for dharma. Right? For dharma to do dharma, Ishvara has to operate through me. Bhagwan has to operate through me. See, Arjuna had to fight a Mahabharata war, a terrible war. Pandava Sena was 7 crores, 7 Akshayani. Kauravas are 11 Akshayani, more powerful. Okay. Arjuna plugged into Bhagwan, Sri Krishna. Then they were able to win the war. So similarly, you have to plug into Ishvara for becoming successful in life. That is the message of Upasana. Some of the power of Ishvara will manifest in your life, provided you do proper Upasana. If you do improper Upasana, your life will be like that only. Right? So the importance of Upasana is told here, and difference of Gnani's Mukti with the Upasaka's Mukti is being told here in this sutra. Okay. So the Purva, there is a sloka in Chandogya Upanishad 7.2, 26.2 is a Upasaka was after going to Brahmaloka, he can become 1, he can become 3, he can become 5, he can become 7, he can become 9. That means he can take any number of forms, any number of bodies. Are you clear? Now, why does he take any number of bodies? Now, see, my experience of one body is so enjoyable. 1 cup of coffee is so enjoyable. If I take 10 bodies and drink 10 cup of coffee simultaneously, what is my enjoyment? So he wants to experience life in many ways. And please understand, Upasaka, his still ego is there, a pure ego. He has not gone to egoless state. So he can have desire legitimately. And legitimately the desires will be fulfilled. Right? So now Purva Pakshi is coming and saying, you are saying he becomes 1, he becomes 3, he becomes 5, he becomes 7, he becomes 9, or he can take many forms. Purva Pakshi comes and says, what is the use of this form, my dear? What is the use? Okay. If a Upasaka takes 10 bodies, out of that only 1 body has Jiva, And other 9 bodies are dummy bodies. They're like robots. In every body, there should be jiva to experience life. You mean to say upasaka can create another jiva? Jiva cannot be created because jiva is anadi. A jiva for each of us is anadi. It's not created by Ishwar also. You mean to say in 10 bodies, this upasaka will create 10 jivas? That means he is doing something which Ishwar also is not done. Then you say, no, there's no jiva in the body. Then what is the use of some dead body walking? It's like a, what is it? Zombie walking. Then what is the point of saying 1, 3, 5, 9, and 10? Is the question clear? I'll tell you a story of Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was going in a boat in Hooghly River. Suddenly, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa starts crying. Okay? Stop me beating, don't beat me. Then his Shishya, Ramakrishna Shishya, asked, who is beating? Nobody is beating. Sit quiet. The boat is rocking. We'll fall into the river. Stop beating. Ramakrishna Paramahamsa starts crying in the boat. Okay? The boat reaches the shore. Then what they see is one person is beating another person. And there's a swelling on the back of the other person. Exactly, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is swelling on that place. He is experiencing what those people are experiencing here in his body. I'm giving you this as illustration, okay? So, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, remember, is Upasaka. He is able to experience life through other bodies, many bodies, at that point of time. I'm just giving it as an example, illustration in this world. So, can you experience life through other bodies? Is the question. Is the question clear? Understanding of the question problem is clear? So that's why Siddhanti says, please understand that when he creates 1 body, 3 body, 5 body, 7 body, 9 body, or many bodies, they are not robots, they are not zombies, they are not lifeless. Okay? It is very true that all the bodies have to have a jiva. Now the challenge question here is, a gross body can be created, but subtle body jiva cannot be created. Jiva Ishwar also is not created. Jivas are there from time immemorial, so anadi. So you mean to say Saguna, the Bhakta, Saguna Upasaka can create a jiva? That means he is doing something which is not done by Ishwar also. Right? Here the sutra says, the physical body can be created. Gross body can be created. Is it true? You yourself created gross body in a dream. In a dream, when you go, you'll become a dream girl. You'll have a young body. In a dream, you can fly in the sky. You have a body which can fly. So in your dream, you are able to create one body. Our body gets created because of the prarabdha karma. Similarly, a upasaka whose mental power has increased can create many bodies, infinite number of bodies. So then upasaka, Purvakshi immediately asks, how can he create infinite number of bodies? Forget about upasaka. Even Adnani is creating infinite number of bodies. Ignorant person. How? One body he takes, he experiences life. After that he dies, he takes another body. After that he dies. He has created millions and millions of bodies, but not simultaneously, one after the other. That's the meaning of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam, Punarapi Janani, Jatareshayanam. You keep on creating bodies, one after the other, in different lifetimes. Who? Ignorant person, Adnani. Correct? In fact, you have created millions of bodies before you come here. But you have created millions of bodies not simultaneously, one after the other, in time. A Upasaka is able to create millions of bodies simultaneously. Now the question comes, why he can create millions of bodies simultaneously? Any idea? Or he can create many bodies simultaneously? He actually, as long as ego is there, your karma has not ended. Karma is still there. When karma is there, prarabdha karma is there. When prarabdha karma is there, or any other karma is there, to experience good karma, he can take many bodies simultaneously and experience good karma suddenly. Are you getting what I'm saying? Not getting. See, his karma has it ended. Karma has not ended. Only a Gnani or Jiva Mukta will have an ending of karma. That means Upasaka has also karma, good karma. Are you clear? So to experience good karma, he can take, he can create some 10 bodies and experience all good karma simultaneously and exhaust the good karma. Possibly bad karma also. Right? So creating one body after the other body is not a specialty. It's any ordinary jiva can do it. You are doing it. One life after another, you are creating another body. Upasaka has the ability to create multiple bodies simultaneously and experience something in life simultaneously. Is the distinction clear? Now the question is, when the bodies have created, have they life in that or not? Are they dummies? Are they zombies walking? So the sutra says, all created bodies will have a subtle body. Subtle body can be created. Why? Subtle body is made up of matter only. Subtle bodies, gross body and subtle body are made up of fine. Subtle body is made up of fine matter. Making subtle body is not a problem. Okay. He animates all the subtle bodies, just like a lamp flame lights up all other flames. A lamp, I have a light at top. A lamp is there. That lamp, I can use it to light 10 lamps. Like a lamp lighting 10 lamps, a Upasaka can light 10 bodies, 50 bodies, or 100 bodies, bring Jiva into that. It is not that he will enter into each body. He will create, he will light the Jiva consciousness in each of the body, create a subtle body and light of the consciousness there. How? Pradeepa Aveshaha. Pradeepa Avesha means like a lamp can light other lamps, he can light. His mind gets extended into many bodies. It is not that he'll create a mind for each body. His mind gets extended into each body. Like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa was able to experience the pain of two people being in this body, but extending the mind in other people also. For Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, it is a siddhi in human world. If you go to Brahmaloka, it's not a siddhi. It is a natural ability. So now we'll ask the question, what is the difference between a Adnani taking a new body and a Upasaka able to take 10 bodies? Is there a difference? What is the difference? A Adnani takes a new body, he has no choice. He is doing it by prarabdha karma, forced. Force of prarabdha karma will make him take some body. Next slide. Whereas Upasaka, he is able to create a body of his desire, choice, and experience. For Adnani, it's a fall into the body. Whereas for Upasaka, it's entering into the body by choice, like changing a dress. For Upasaka, it's a choice. For an ignorant person, it's a force. So this particular sutra is telling about the powers of Upasaka compared to a Adnani. The next sutra will tell the powers of Upasaka with respect to Adnani. Is this sutra clear to all? Yes or no? Huh? Yeah, but then fairy tale, life is fairy tale. So there is a sutra, there is a shloka in Chandogya Upanishad. He being 1 becomes 3, becomes 5, becomes 7, becomes a 9. Chandogya Upanishad 7.26.2. It's for Upasaka. The previous line will say that. I can't write the full shloka. So the Purvapakshi is asking, multiple bodies which liberated Upasaka takes are like puppets. There's no life. Robots. What is the point of creating some 10 bodies which are robots? What do you do with that? And mind can be in only one body. Experiencing mind can be only in one body. So the Siddhanti says other bodies are not lifeless. He can extend his mind into all the bodies, experience through all the bodies, like a lamp can light many lamps. That's what Siddhanti says. Upasaka's mind can also control many bodies. So this is like a lamp is there. See, I told you, Upasaka Jiva has no body. It's a subtle body only. He can create many bodies at will, and like lighting a lamp in each body, he can bring life into those bodies. He can experience life through many bodies. The mind doesn't get split into many bodies. Mind gets extended into many bodies. So this is the power of a Upasaka. This is the glory of a Upasaka or meditator. Now the next question comes. What is the difference between this and a Jnani? Swappeya, Sampatyoho, Anyatara, Apeksham, Avishkritam, He. So the next sutra tries to differentiate the mukti of a Jnani with the mukti of a Upasaka. A Jivan Mukta and Upasaka. There's a sutra, there's a teaching in Upanishad which says there's no cognition of the other in the Jiva when he becomes Mukta. There's no other can be seen. So absence of cognition is possible in deep sleep or in a Videha Mukti where absolute union with Brahman has happened. The earlier sutra, what we told, taking multiple bodies is possible for Upasaka. For a Jnani, absolute union with the Brahman has happened. There's no cognition, there's no other. Let us try to understand this. The Purvapakshi comes and says, my dear sir, you are saying a Mukta is able to take many bodies. Okay? And experience life in many ways. But Brihadaranyaka Upanishad comes back and says, what should we know what? There is no second thing separate from which the Jiva it can be known. Jiva becomes like water, one, the witness without the second. So these are the teachings of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. So Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is saying a Jivan Mukta or Jnani has no cognition. That means he cannot see, feel, experience, touch anything. Is it like a stone? No. Stone is jada. He is conscious, but there is nothing else for him to experience. Because everything in the universe is nothing but Brahman only. So here the distinction between Upasaka and Brahmadhani Mukti is being brought out. What should we know? What is the question in Brahmadhani question? A Upasaka or a Adnani has something to know. I want to see the book. I want to read the book. I want to know English. I want to know Hindi. I want to know French. I have something to learn for a Adnani. For Upasaka, there's something I want to know. I want to know what's happening in Bhuloka. I want to know what's happening in Brahmaloka. I want to know what's happening in Swargaloka. Something to know is there. That's why Narada keeps traveling. He's the spy. He keeps on finding what is happening in Bhuloka, what is happening in Swargaloka. Something to know is there. Something to know is possible when there is a duality. Duality is possible when there is ego. Right? Upasaka has ego. So Brahmadhani question is, what is there to know? So then our Purvapakshi comes and says, I told you so, there's nothing to know. Even if we create 10 bodies, there's nothing to know, because 10 bodies cannot know anything. Because they are all lifeless. Right? You understand the objection of Upasaka? Objection of Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi earlier said, 10 bodies are there, but they are like robots. They cannot experience anything. Then Siddhanta said, no, they are not like robots, that life is there in that, all of them. Now, Purvapakshi is quoting Upanishad Vakya. There is nothing to know. That means all these bodies cannot know anything. That's what he's trying to say. Is the logic clear? Argument clear? Okay. Then there is no second thing from which it can be known. So there's no second thing from which you can know. So there's no second jiva there to experience through body. That's what Purvapakshi is saying. Okay. It becomes like water. One, the witness without a second. It's a witness. Water, wave, ocean, bubble, foam. Everything is a form of water. Everything is water only. So the Purvapakshi quotes that shloka of Upanishad, says, even if you create 10 bodies or 100 bodies, it doesn't matter. Nothing you can experience. Cognition is not possible. Is the objection of the Purvapakshi clear? So that's why Purvapakshi says there's no cognition. Cognition means touch, sound, smell, taste, form, or knowledge of anything is possible because Upanishad says so. Then Purvapakshi says, how can he take many bodies? How can he experience to many bodies? How can he have dualistic experience? Dualistic experience is possible only if your experience means cognition. Touch, sound, smell, taste, and form, or knowledge. He cannot have a dualistic experience based on the Upanishad's quotation. So Siddhanta says, my dear Purvapakshi, sir, there are two types of mukti, Krama Mukti and Sadhyo Mukti, and Jivan Mukti. Krama Mukti and Jivan Mukti. So what we told in the earlier sutra is about Krama Mukti. Krama Mukti means the jiva or a bhakta has an ego. Still, what ego? Bhakta ego. The devotee ego is there. That's why he has a body and he can travel to other loka and he can also experience many lokas. For example, Narada. Narada is there in Vaikuntha Loka. But Narada also travels to other lokas. And he is very interested in what's happening in other loka. He is very curious what's happening in Bhuloka, what's happening in Swarga Loka, and he takes the news from one loka to other loka. So what is told in earlier sloka is about Saguna Mukti or Krama Mukti for a Upasaka, Bhakta. So don't confuse Mukti. So here the Upanishad is trying to tell us very clearly what is Nirguna or Jivan Mukti or Vidya Mukti. What is told in the Upanishad is about Nirguna Mukti, liberation, Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. In Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti, there's no other to see. Jivatma has merged with the Paramatma. Only when something is different from you, you can see. Only when something is different from you, you can experience it. But if you have become everything, one in all in one, Aham Brahmasmi, Sarvam Khalid Brahma, there's nothing to see for you to see. So Upanishad Vakya, what Brahadana Upanishad you quoted, is not about Nirguna Mukti or Jnana, Jivan Mukti. It's about Saguna Upasaka. Earlier spoke of Saguna Upasaka. Now what you are quoting is Nirguna Upasaka, Nirguna Mukti, Jivan Mukti and Videha Mukti. Okay? So don't confuse two types of Mukti because we have always concept of Mukti. What is Mukti means? Okay? To tell very clearly, in Nirguna Mukti, there is no experience, because experience and experiencer, knower and known, subject and object, everything has become one. A river has merged with the ocean. After river merging with the ocean, there is no river. It cannot find another river. A Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Narmada, Sindhu, Kaveri, when it merges with the ocean, there is only ocean. There is nothing else. When Jivatma is merged with the Brahman, there is no experience possible. This is called Mukti. Sadhya Mukti. Mukti can happen only through Dana. But Upasaka has to go through Krama Mukti. He can still have experience. So the sloka which is told here by you is about two situations in life. In deep sleep also we have Advaita. In deep sleep we merge with Ishvara. In deep sleep also no duality, Advaita. But ignorance is there. Deep sleep, there's no experience. Bliss is there. There's no other. Jivatma has merged the Ishvara momentarily in case of deep sleep. In fact, all of you have experience of Advaita in deep sleep. But deep sleep, you have ignorance, Adnana. That's why you're called Pradna. Pradna means your knowledge is not, your Adnana is not, there's no more Dnana. There's ignorance is there. You don't know who am I. You don't know what is Brahman. You don't know. In deep sleep, you are experiencing Advaita only. Deep sleep experience is Advaita, where there's no experience real. There is no experiencer. Experienced and experiencer have merged into one. The knower and known is merged into one. Subject and object has become merged into one. In the deep sleep, there's no body, there's no mind, there's no world. You have merged into Ishvara every day. What is Advaita experience? The example of that is given to you, demonstration is given to you every day in deep sleep. A Jnani who has become Videha, Jivan Mukta, has realized Jivatma Paramatma Ekatva. That's why it's called Jivan Mukta. For him, there's nothing to experience. A Jivan Mukta has a body, physical body. He can also see a mango. He can also see an apple. You mean to say Jivan Mukta doesn't want to experience apple or mango? He can very well experience apple or mango with the body, with a clear understanding that Brahman only is experiencing Brahman. Because as long as the body, there's a dualistic experience. But in that dualistic experience, Jivan Mukta has a clarity of non-duality. That's why this sloka comes. Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavihi, Brahmagno, Brahmanautam, Brahmaiva, Tena Gantavyam, Brahma Karma, Samadhina. In the form of Yajna, it's told, what you are offering to Yajna is Brahman. The fire is Brahman. The one who is offering is Brahman. All that is there in Yajna is Brahman. A Jivan Mukta has Brahma Karma Samadhina. One who understands he has already, he will merge with Brahman. Samadhi will attain. A Jivan Mukta has, with this Jnana, he has attained Brahman. Jivatma is merged with Paramatma. With his eyes open also, he'll see Brahman only. I've told many times, no, seeing means knowing, right? So I've told with the physical eyes, we cannot see Brahman. Only Jnana Chakshu can help. Charma Chakshu and Jnana Chakshu difference I have told. When seeing means seeing through Jnana Chakshu, a clarity. Physical eyes cannot see Brahman because Brahman has no form. So Jnana Chakshu, when he sees something, that understanding is Brahman only. Adnani sees a rope and sees a snake. He's afraid. Then he sees, oh, this is not a rope. This is not a snake. This is a rope. Now, if he sees this rope and snake, because of lighting condition, it may still appear as a snake. But his Jnana Chakshu will tell him, no, there's no snake. There's a rope. Jnana Chakshu is the opening of Jnana Chakshu is called enlightenment. Clarity. That's what I'm saying. Gnani is aware of experience because the body is there. But in all experiences, he knows it's only Brahman appearing as that.
But everyone is how can he have experience because he is only everything.
He is only everything. That's why, because he knows, he knows.
There is no experience.
So the question is, how can Gnani have a experience? Because he is everything. There's no experience and experiencer of the Gnani. I've told there are two types of understanding of Gnani is required. So Gnani lives in a Paramarthika Drishtikona. That means he is already attained Parabrahma. That's why it's called Jivan Mukta. Right? But Gnani's body is continuing in the world because of Prarabdha Karma. Anytime you have to give two levels of explanation. From the worldly point of view, what happens to Gnani? From Gnani's point of view, what happens to him? So from Gnani's point of view, he is already establishing Brahman. For them, and he is Atma. For him, there is nothing to experience. Because there is no other. Whose point of view? Gnani's point of view.
Obviously, experience will not be a Paramarthika level.
No, yeah. Gnani is already in Paramarthika level. But Gnani's body is continuing in Vyavaharika.
Yeah,
because of,
when you say experience, it's Vyavaharika. The Paramarthika, what is
so this explanation is given from the point of view of the people. Because they are seeing the body of Gnani working. Isn't it? They can't understand. Gnani is already in Paramarthika. They can't understand. So Gnani, Jivan Mukta is working, Jivan Mukta is operating, Jivan Mukta is functioning from their point of view. The explanation is given about the functioning of a Jivan Mukta in the world. It's a Vyavaharika Drishtikona experience is explained. Otherwise, a common man cannot understand a Gnani. He'll think that he's also a common man. So from a common man point of view, Gnani, whatever he sees Brahman. That explanation is being given through the sloka, Brahmarpanam, Brahmahavi, Brahmagno, Brahmanavatam. For Gnani, when a body-mind complex functioning is happening, there's no doer from Gnani point of view. But from Adnani point of view, Maharshi, Gnani is functioning. Explanation is teaching is required for Adnani point of view so that he can evolve, understand. So any teaching has two dimensions. From Gnani's point of view, there is no other, nothing to know.
So the experience is the same, but his intellectual understanding has changed. That is in the Vyavaharika level.
Because Prarabdha Karma is there, no? Body is continuing, no? And the body has to continue to do the teaching also. That's why body is there. The explanation has to be given from the Paramarthika point of view. From Gnani's point of view, there's no other. So you might have seen many Gnanis will sit like this. That's called Shunya Drishti. Some of the saints, if you see, they'll have Shunya Drishti because they don't see anything. Your intellect doesn't trigger with the objects. They see the unreality of the objects. Intellect is so purified, this unreality object is seen with the physical eyes open. The Brahmavit, Brahmavara, Brahmavarine, Brahmavarishta, the difference is in the degree of Prarabdha Karma.
That is Vyavaharika level.
At Vyavaharika level. Brahmavit, Brahmavara, Brahmavarine, Brahmavarishta is from Vyavaharika level. Paramarthika level, all are Jivan Mukta. They are merged with the Brahman.
So there is no exclusive Gnani's point of view from Paramarthika level. From Paramarthika level.
Paramarthika level, all are Gnanis. Yeah. Once you have understood I am Brahman, once you are established in the I am Brahman, Turyasthiti, all are Muktas only, Jivan Muktas only. But their functioning in the world will vary. Brahmavit, Brahmavara, Brahmavarine, Brahmavarishta. I have told already this many times.
And how does this sentence apply in Paramarthika level? He is everything. There is no everything in Paramarthika level.
Explanations for whom? There is everything. Sarvam Khalu is Brahma. Explanations for whom? For Gnani explanation is required. For Jiva, everything is there. That is, everything is Brahman is told for the Jiva. Otherwise, he has no way of understanding. Gnani, what is Gnani and what is Jiva? You'll never understand. That no bridging is happening. For Jiva, every teaching is given to Jiva, Adnani's point of view. That's why Sarvam Khalu is Brahma. All this is Brahman. Where is all this? You will say. Gnani has no all this. Adnani has all this. That Adnani has all this is seen as Brahman by the Gnani. That understanding of Gnani state of mind, Gnani state is given to Adnani in this sutras, in these teachings. Teaching is required for Adnani. Gnani doesn't require teaching. Gnani doesn't require any explanation about his state. He's already experiencing it. The entire teaching is given for Adnani or a sadhaka to understand what is the state of Gnani. Adnani is seeing multiplicity of the world. Oh, sun is there, moon is there. Then explanation is given. Sun is, moon is, the isness is Brahman. So Gnani sees only isness. So from Gnani's point of view, everything is Brahman. Sarvam is Brahma is told. There's no other. For Gnani, there's no other. But for explanation purpose, we have to tell the other is there. Objects are there. They're all Brahman. For whom objects are there? Adnani. They are Brahman from the Gnani's point of view. That we have to explanation to be given. No. Teaching is always for Adnani. That's why Upanishads say, Vedaha bhavanti avedaha. For Gnani, Vedas are not required. Over. Their function is over. No teaching can be done through Gnani. Because whatever he does becomes the teaching. His life is the teaching. Right? It is like you have a textbook. You study the textbook, engineering textbook or mathematics textbook, you study. After the past examination, where is the textbook required? Job of the textbook is over. Vedas are like textbooks. Until you get knowledge, the textbook book is required. Vedas are there for Adnanis. Please understand. Upanishads are there for Adnanis. But they are trying to bridge the gap between Adnani and Adnani through explanation, various words. Gnani doesn't require what is his state. He already knows. But Gnani was also Adnani, no? Sometime. From Adnana to Gnana to go, you need to direction. The direction is told through teaching. Don't catch hold of the words. Try to get to the meaning. Don't catch the finger which is pointed to the moon. Look at the moon. That's the teaching. So teaching is everywhere he sees Brahman only. So Gnani point of view, even Jivan Mukta appears to be eating, walking. Ramana Maharshi seems to be going to garden, cutting vegetables. Then you think that he's like me only, ordinary person. No. Gnani has a paramarthik understanding. Even if he cuts a vegetable, he knows he is himself. Atma only is there. So that understanding is to be given. That's why Sarvam Khala Brahma teaching is given. For whom? For Ramana Maharshi or Gnani? Why does it require teaching? That Ramana Maharshi's state is explained to a Adnani. Adnani is a vegetable. Ramana Maharshi is cutting vegetable, he'll say. So there's no doer in that. We have to tell that Adnani. Gnani doesn't have to practice non-doership. He's already non-doer. Are we clear? So when we say there's no other, Upanishad saying no other, no cognition is possible, no experience is possible, we are speaking about deep sleep state, which is therefore common to Adnani and Gnani. Everybody is same. Only thing is, Gnani has no ignorance, which has no ignorance has happened in the waking state. So Gnani is Jivan Mukta. With his eyes open also, he doesn't see the other. When he says he, we are referring to Paramarthika level. When he says Gnani sees, experiences every object in the world, it's called Vyavaharika level for ignorant person to explain the state of Gnani. There anywhere the two explanations are there at a given point of time. So there's no other to experience. That's why Gnani drops all desires. There's no desire for Gnani. Whereas Bhakta has a desire because he has the ego. He sees the other. A yogi has a desire. And yogi has a siddhi. Yogi has a desire. But Gnani has no desire because his desires are dropped. He has nothing to experience. But still, Gnani may be appearing to working, doing something. That is not because individual desire. That's because of Loka Kalyana. His body and mind is addressing the vasanas of the world in terms of teaching. There's no doer there. There's no enjoyer there. There's no experiencer there. From Gnani's point of view. From the people point of view, there's a doer, there's an experiencer. Then for people, we can say, oh, Gnani or his Mahatma, he sees God in everybody. We can say that way. Right? So the Upanishad statements are referring to either a sleep state where there's no duality or a Jivan Mukta and Videha Mukta state. What is the difference between Jivan Mukta and Videha Mukta? Jivan Mukta has still a Chidavasa, a reflected consciousness in the body. Means individual consciousness is there. right? Because mind is there, the body is there, not dropped, but mind is a purified mind. Ego, which is a purified ego. In case of Jivan Mukta, purified ego is there. Still, there is a sense of individuality for functioning purpose in the world. Have I told you about the state of Vijnani? A purified ego is like a serpent in the neck of Ishvara, Shiva. It's an ornament. For functional purpose, there's a purified ego. For functional purpose, there's an individual identity. Right? So I told you, Gnani is like a person having a dual citizenship. In the world of he has to function through a purified ego, and he is at the paramarthic level simultaneously. So now Gnani, when he drops the body, he becomes Videha Mukta. When he becomes Videha Mukta, what will happen? The gross body is gone. Physical body is gone. Like a pot is broken. The Adnana in the mind has already gone when he has become Jivan Mukta. So the mind will not take another body. The ignorance of mind is gone. So causal body is gone with the Adnana. Causal body is broken when the Adnana is gone. So the mind or Jiva, or the mind, cannot go into another body. So because mind cannot go into another body, the mind dissolves in Panchabhuta. The subtle aspect of mind dissolves into Panchabhuta, subtle elements. Then there's no reflecting surface, there's no Chidabhasa. Jiva fully has merged with the Brahman in the Videha Mukti. In practical purposes, merged when it's Jivan Mukti has happened. But functioning body is there because of Prarabdha Karma. Even the functioning body drops at Videha Mukti. It's called Mahasamadhi or Videha Mukti at the time of death. Right? So then, where is the experiencer? Where is the experience? There's nothing to experience or experienced. River has merged with the ocean fully. Where? In case of Videha Mukti. Right? So, the shloka, what you said earlier, is about Saguna Brahma or Bhakta. He has an ego. He is in Vaikuntha Loka or Shiva Loka. He can experience many things because ego is there. So, Gnani, in case of Jivan Mukti, purified ego is there. He can still experience, but still understand this one non-duality. In case of the pure ego also drops at the time of Videha Mukti, then he attains Mahasamadhi or Videha Mukti. At that time, nothing to experience, no experience duality is there. In Videha Mukti, Jivan Mukti, that translates into clarity in the intellect and the functioning in the world. So there's a ego is there, but it's ornamental, it doesn't affect him. Still, a sense of individuality is there because Chidabhasa is there. In case of Jivan Mukta. In case of Videha Mukta, the Chidabhasa gone, mind is gone, body is gone. A river has merged with the ocean. What we call Videha Mukta means one was having a body, one was bonded. For him, all this teaching don't matter. What is the use of a teaching for a graduate who has already passed the exam? The teaching is there only for studying students. The teaching is there, Vedanta teaching is there for us, Adnanis. Gnani, why you will listen anything? Right? So, this sutra is to bring a very clear distinction between Jivan Mukti and Krama Mukti. Is the distinction clear? So Purva Pakshi is coming with a new objection now. What is the objection? You said he will experience through many bodies. But Upanishad saying he cannot experience anything. What should you know? What? Upanishad saying, Brahadana Upanishad saying, what should you know? Because there's nothing to be known. Knower and known has become one. So there's no cognition possible. But you are saying he'll experience many things through many bodies. Okay. Then there's no second thing separate from which it can know. There's no second thing. That's why you said there are many bodies. There's no second. The other bodies don't have life. They're all dummies. That's what Prabhuji is saying. He cannot experience anything other body because there's no second thing. It becomes like water. One witness without second. It becomes one witness without second. That's why you are, my dear sir, what you told in the earlier sutra is not correct. He can take many bodies and experience life is not correct. Upanishad itself is saying he cannot experience anything. So there is no cognition for the realized soul. How can he assume many multiple bodies and experience? How can he have a dualistic experience? Any experience to have, this duality is required. Ego is required. Huh? So this is the objection of Purvapakshi. He is trying to bring out the contradiction in the Upanishad statements to bring out the difference between the Saguna Mukti and Nirguna Mukti, Videha Mukti. So Siddhanti says, my dear sir, my dear Purvapakshi, your question is very valid, but your understanding is wrong. Earlier sutra is about a Saguna Mukti, a Bhakta, a yogi who goes to Brahmaloka, Shivaloka, Vaikuntha Loka, or Devi Loka. Because he has an ego, a purified ego, no, a sattvic ego. That's why he is traveling to all other lokas. And he has a desire because he has still an ego. He wants to experience many things in life. Please remember, sir, Narada, he wants to travel to many worlds. He is a frequent flyer. He flies to many worlds. He is very interested in news. He has very knowledge. So that's the state of a bhakta. Ego is there. No doubt he'll have a lot of wonderful experiences in Vaikuntha Loka, but he still have a desire because ego is there. Not desire is not for a personal reason, maybe for Loka Kalyana, but desire is there. Okay. Earlier sloka is about Saguna Mukti. Now here is about Nirguna Mukti or Jivan Mukti. So what is told in Brihadaranyaka Upanishad? What should you know what? There's knower and known distinction false. The knower and known and knowledge merges into one. No, I don't understand this. You can understand this because of your deep sleep state experience. In deep sleep also, knower, known, knowledge merges. There's no world, there's no body, there's no mind, there's nothing. Everything is merged. Your deep sleep experience is there. A Gnani has that experience in Mukti. There's no second thing separate from you. Yes, in deep sleep, I don't have anybody. No body, no mind, no husband, no wife. Nothing is there. There's no second thing to know. A Gnani also has nothing to know. With his eyes open, he sees everybody as Brahman. This explanation is from the point of view of Adnani. From Gnani's point of view, there's no other Brahman, Paramarthik Drishtikona. Both he has. He has Paramarthik Drishtikona and Vyavaharik Drishtikona simultaneously. See, our mind is dualistic. If he has Vyavaharik Drishtikona, he can't have Paramarthik Drishtikona. We'll say. For Gnani, both are simultaneously. A screen is present and movie is present. For us, only movie is present. Our attention is only movie. Then, the teaching of this Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, is about a Videha Mukta, a Jivan Mukta. Jivan Mukta is a working body, functional body for Vyavaharik purpose, but his Paramarthik Drishtikona is there's no other. In the functional body, his intellect is purified, a ego is purified, that ego, purified ego is functioning, but still he knows everything is Brahman. That's why Sarvam Khalu the Brahma teaching applies there. And when he dies, he'll become Videha Mukta. Body breaks, the mind disappears, the reflecting surface called mind is gone. There's no reflection called Chidabhasa can happen. There's no individuality which can come back. So he has become one with Brahman. Then absolutely there's nothing to see. A river has merged with the ocean. So distinction between Saguna Mukti and Nirguna Mukti, Krama Mukti and Jivan Mukti, is it clear through this sloka? I already told that there are three ways. A Jivi in the Bhuloka, he can do Upasana or Bhakti and he can go to Satyaloka or Brahmaloka. There's path of no return. It's called path of light, Shukla Gati or Uttarayana Marga. So he goes to this loka, but he goes to this loka because ego is there still. What kind of ego is that? A sattvic ego. He can have desires. He can travel to many lokas, but he has more powers of Ishvara. Right? He can take a body. He can change a body. He can take multiple bodies. For person upasana. Whereas for a person who is in the path of return, he has done some good sadhana, good practices. He has lived a life of dharma. He'll get a punya. He'll go to Sargaloka and come back. Exhaust his punya. Whereas now the current sloka is speaking about a Gnani, is a Jivan Mukta. He doesn't go anywhere. He doesn't come. Jivatma has merged with Paramatma when he is there in the body. Now his explanation, his experience can be explained in two terms. From the point of view of a Gnani and from the point of view of a Sadhaka. From the point of view of Adnanis. For Adnani, we can say, so Gnani, even if he is functioning in the body, he is a non-doer. For Gnani, even if he is explaining something, he is explaining Brahman only. Because any explanations from the Vyavarika Drishtikona. For Gnani, there's no other. Paramatika Drishtikona, yes, all the time. That's why all desires of Gnani have dissolved. Gnani has no desire, personal desire. Then why does Gnani function? At Vyavarika Drishtikona, he will function because Loka Kalyana. That means we can say through Gnani, only Ishvara functions for Loka Kalyana. There's no individual there. From Gnani's point of view, individual has already merged with Brahman. That's why he's called Jivan Mukta. After death, there's no body also. Even individuality goes. So this is actually, in this sloka, the difference between sleep and Mahasamadhi is told. In sleep also, there's no duality. There's no other. There's no other, nothing to know, nothing to experience in sleep. Our sleep experience is an experience of mukti, in a sense, every day. Exposure to mukti. There's no other. Okay? I mean, Mahasamadhi, Jivatma has merged with Paramatma. Only Brahman is there now. There's no individuality. So I have given advantage and disadvantage. I have given both Saguna Mukti and Nirguna Mukti. Saguna Mukti looks to be more entertaining, more joy, more fun and experience is there. Nirguna Mukti, all experiences will disappear and merge into Brahman. So make a choice. Let us sit silently for some time. Close our eyes. Gently become aware of the world. World is nothing but sounds for us now, because we have closed our eyes. There's subtle sound, there's a gross sound. In between sound, there's a gap. Silence. When there's sound, I am there as awareness, Sakshi. When there's silence, I am there as awareness, as Sakshi. The sound changes, but Sakshi, awareness, Atma does not change. I am that Atma, pure awareness. Take your attention to the breath. There's in breath and out breath. There's a gap between two breaths. The breath changes. There's no breath between two in the gap. I am the one witness, unchanging witness, observing the changes in the breath. Become aware of the body. From head to toe, there is a sensation. The sensations keep changing. I am the witness, aware of changing sensation. Witness doesn't change. I am the witness, eternal witness, Sakshi, Brahman, awareness, unchanging reality. Everything what I observe changes. Jivatma is one with Paramatma. Asatoma, Sadgamaya, Tamasoma, Jyotirgamaya, Mrityorma, Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamuduchyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi Nanu Nanembudu Nanalla Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla Sachidanandatma Shivananunani Shivoham Shivoham Shivoham. I'm not the body, I'm not the mind, I'm not the intellect, I'm pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. Atma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Brahma Darshanam, Satya Darshanam. To know the self is to know God. To know God is to be God. To be God is to know the truth. Antarjyotihi, Bahirjyotihi, Pratyakjyotihi, Paratpara, Jyotireva Jyotihi, Swayam Jyotihi, Atma Jyotihi, Shivosmiham. I am the light of the self awareness, Atma Jyoti. I am the light illuminating the entire world, Jagat Jyoti. I am the light beyond all lights, Paranjyoti. I am the self-luminous light, light of love, compassion, wisdom, and happiness. Lokaha samastaha Sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha Sukino bhavantu. Lokaha samastaha Sukino bhavantu. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Gently rub both of your hands. Give warmth to the eyes and slowly open your eyes. You can see links for Light of Self Foundation website or YouTube. You can subscribe to that, or you can forward it to your friends. For children program, I lead links. I lead is the children's program. You can forward that. With that, we are concluding this sutra. Next sutra is whether Upasaka will get all the powers of Ishvara. It's very nice to have all the powers of Ishvara. Will Upasaka get all the powers of Ishvara is the next question. Anybody has any questions?
Pranam Gurudeva. Gurudeva, due to pending vasanas, the Upasaka is continuously taking new body.
Not continuously, at will. Why he will continuously take new bodies?
At will, yes, consciously at will he is taking new
One
body.
Adnani will take continuously bodies, whereas Upasaka will not do that. Upasaka takes it will at required time, right? Narada will suddenly appear in Buloka. Then he will disappear. So what is there?
So is Upasana fortifying or strengthening the mental strength of, it's not able to give up because of the Upasana, such powers, is it difficult?
Yeah, Upasana means mind has become pure, sattvic, so that has developed certain power. So then he gets a visa or permit to live in Brahmaloka. So in Brahmaloka, he has to go and study and get Brahmadnana. It's up to him now whether he wants to get Brahmadnana or use these powers and a little bit enjoy and come back. It's up to him. He has given that freedom. If he doesn't get a Mukti in one Brahmaji's time, he will get Mukti in another Brahmaji's time. Again, he will be born in Brahmaloka.
Okay. Second, next question is, what is the difference between the experience of Upasaka having pain or joy, as you told the Ramakrishna Paramahamsaji's story, and what is the difference between a Jnani's experience of being able to love everyone?
See, Jnani, Upasaka also loves everyone. See, I told you, Upasaka says God is everywhere. Okay. Still, I am separate from God. So he has the experience of oneness, Upasaka. So Jnani has no otherness. Jnani doesn't see anybody else. There's no otherness at all in case of Jnani. Right? So when Jnani does something, it's like my hand, there's a mosquito sitting on my hand, right? And I'll go and hit it. There's no voluntary effort here. Because my left hand is my own body. So for Jnani, everything being himself, the compassion and love is spontaneous. There's not even thinking that. It's just natural. Upasaka, on the other hand, has an ego. So he has to decide what I have to do. Right? A deliberation is there. Then, of course, Upasaka will come back and say, no, God worked through me. But still a sense of duality is there in him. And Upasaka's experience can go up and down because it's based on the ego. It'll change. One moment Upasaka will see the experience of oneness, the next minute he'll lose it. That's why Gopikas will see Krishna, they'll feel so joyful, and then lose Krishna, they'll cry. Because still that ego and mental domain is there. Whereas Gnani's experience doesn't go up and down because it's already established in Brahman. Does that answer your question?
Yes, yes. Another thing is, what is the difference between the idea of nothing of an Ajnani, the idea of knowing nothing of an Ajnani, and the idea or the Jnana of knowing nothing of a Jnani?
No, you're mixing up.
Yeah, this is little
This is
mixing up.
mixing up. Adnani, okay. Adnani says there's nothing because he is not able to recognize the consciousness of Brahman. The same nothingness appears as Brahman to Adnani because awareness and consciousness. So Adnani's knowledge is completely ignorance. The nothingness, what you call as space or emptiness, is nothing but Brahman. Adnani is not able to recognize Brahman.
Yes.
Awareness. Awareness is all pervading reality. Adnani is not recognizing that. Okay. For example, what is there in my hand? There's a banana in my hand. Now, what is there in my hand? Nothing is there. Okay. But in both the cases, there was light. Banana was there, light was there. Now, nothing is there also, light is there. But you say nothing is there. Light is there is a recognition. Similarly, Gnani recognizes everywhere, Brahman is there. Whether nothing is there also, Brahman is there. That recognition is there.
Yeah. And you said that a Jnani knows that there is light as well as the banana.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no light as a banana. For him, banana is appearing as light is appearing as banana. There's no two.
Light is appearing as banana.
Yeah, there's no two.
There is no two.
Water appears as wave. There's no water and wave. There's no two things.
Yes. Yes, Gurudev.
So now, if Gnani is saying light and banana, then you are bringing duality. There's no two.
Light is appearing as banana.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
So anybody else any questions?
Namaste, Guruji.
Namaste.
Sadhaka can create so many bodies to exhaust his karmas, either good or bad.
Right.
So with that, his ego will be dropped.
Ego is purified. Ego is there.
Okay.
He will enjoy some amount of pending prarabdha karma. Good prarabdha karma has taken to him to that loka. He will have some good experience, enjoyments. Then he will go for jnana.
Okay. Number
Without
2.
Jnana, ego cannot be dropped. Jnana alone can give mukti.
Okay.
If you say dropping of ego or getting jnana is automatic, no.
Okay.
Impossible. Shravana, Manana, Nidhyas only can liberate.
And
So
number 2.
Bhakta has to go through the syllabus of Bhagavad Gita, Upanishad, Vedanta in Brahmaloka. When he gets ready, we don't know, but he'll get ready sometime.
Number 2. But how can he exhaust his karmas with so many bodies, which doesn't have experience,
No. I told you, there's an experience in the body. That's what the sutra is all about.
No, but there in the Purva question, and Siddhanta says answer only for the Jivan Mukta and then Videha Mukta.
No. You have to listen. You go back and listen to first answer. He creates the body and enters into all the bodies, just like lamp enters into many lamps.
Okay.
That's why I've shown the picture of one lamp in one body and many lamps in other bodies also.
But in the Siddhanta explanation, that was not there actually. Final chart.
Huh?
So in the final chart, what is shown, that was not there actually.
No, the final chart is about Jivan Mukta.
Jivan Mukta only was there. That's what I got confused.
No, earlier sloka is about Saguna Brahma Upasaka. See, I have told already.
Okay, that I got it now. No, I got it.
Yeah,
that
see,
lamp with one lamp, different lamps can be.
He says, Saguna Brahma Upasaka says he can experience through many bodies, just like a lamp experiences through many bodies. So that's what is told. And I have shown this example also. One lamp is there, that lamp goes through many lamps, many bodies. And I told the difference between Adnani and Upasaka taking. Adnani takes because of Prarabdha karma. Upasaka makes a choice, Sankalpa, then it will come back. He doesn't get stuck to the body.
Oh, he can come back to the.
Yeah. He can create, decreate any body at any
Right,
time.
okay. Okay, I got it.
Anybody else, any questions?
Hari Om, Prabhuji.
Hari Om.
Prabhuji, you said that the mind of the Upasaka will expand.
Extend.
Expand and enter into many bodies.
It doesn't enter, it expands into many bodies.
Into many bodies.
Yeah.
So all this happens in Bhuloka or where, Prabhuji?
In Bhuloka, it is called Siddhi. Right? The Siddhi will be not perfect. It will be imperfect Siddhi. It will be partial. Okay. When it goes to Brahmaloka, the Siddhi will manifest fully. That means the power will be, in Bhuloka power is 1. In Brahmaloka the power will become 100. Magnification of the power will happen.
Okay.
Right?
So he will be manifesting the bodies in Brahmaloka.
Brahmaloka, not in Bhuloka.
Okay.
In Bhuloka, Adnani manifests the body. See,
That
Adnani,
is correct. Correct.
one after the mother marriage, he cannot multiple simultaneous bodies, he cannot create.
Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam.
So Adnani also creates millions of bodies, but not simultaneously. Whereas in Brahmaloka, Adnani gets the power of Ishvara to a large extent. Because of it, he can create many bodies, enter into the bodies and experience life simultaneously.
So through that, he is getting rid of his vasanas.
Some vasanas, yes. When his vasanas not nothing primarily for selfish purposes. All Loka Kalyana only. So Narada, when he travels to another Loka, it is not for personal trip. It's only business trip. He wants to know what is there and help Loka Kalyana only.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Right? That's what is called business and pleasure, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So Narada doesn't travel for pleasure. Narada travels for business purpose. The business vasana is there. How to help local, how to do local vasana is there.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Right? So, anybody, any other questions?
Ravana.
Yes, Sujay, madam. I'm not able to hear you.
Ravana. ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ವೇಷ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾನಲ್ಲ ಸೀತಾದೇವಿ ಹತ್ರ.
ಹೌದು.
ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ?
That is not this thing. That's not taking a new body. That's a dress. You go to a shop and you'll get some good dress.
ಆ ತರನಾ ಅದು?
ರಾವಣ goes to ಒಂದು ಶಾಪ್. ನಾವು ಸನ್ಯಾಸಿ ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಷ್ಟೊತ್ತು ಬೇಕ್ರಿಪ್ಪ? ನೀವು ಹಾಕೋಬಹುದು. ಒಂದು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 200 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ಡ್ರೆಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. That's not taking a new body. New body means you can take a man's body, woman's body, Gandharva body, Yaksha body, animal body, like that. Not changing the dress. Ravana changed the dress to become a sannyasi. We are not speaking of changing a dress. Changing a body we are speaking of.
The ಋಷಿನು ಅದರ ಹೆಸರು ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ. ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಒಂದೇ ಸಲ 50 ಆಗಿ ಮದುವೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡ ಅಂತ.
ಯಾರು?
ಋಷಿ ಹೆಸರು ಮರ್ತೋಗಿದೆ.
Yati.
They're all what we call as siddhis. Okay, now siddhi in Bhuloka and siddhi, the siddhi becomes sahaja in Brahmaloka. It becomes 1 million times more. Bhuloka is just a sample. In Bhuloka it's called siddhi. In Brahmaloka it's called sahaja.
Okay. Thank
right?
you.
In Bhuloka, when you use the siddhi, some of your good karma you are exhausting. Whereas Brahmaloka, when you do it sahaja, you don't get exhausted powers.
ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫುಲ್ ಪವರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ.
ಹೌದಾ? Any other question? Anybody? So can we close the discussion? Can you stop the streaming?